Here's a thought that is worth keeping in mind as you're developing anything.
Okay.
Something valuable to be sold. And that is every single time your customers purchase from you, they are deciding that they value what you have to offer more than they value the money that is existing in their pocket. Okay? If people value their dollars more than they value what you've got, they will not make a sale. Or they will not buy from you. And so every single time, if you want to make a sale, you have to create something.
It's a major compliment, actually, when you think about it that way.
It is. It's like you know, it's like you've got something that I want more than I want money.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is really cool. And you know, as you develop your offer, your major priority is, as you're going through the iteration cycle, is learning what people value
more than money.
More than money. And everyone, you know, values are, you know, choices and trade-offs. Everyone has different values that are environmentally dependent, you know, dependent on time, dependent on place, depending on who you're with, you know, all these things. They all change. But there are some consistent patterns in what people choose to trade for money, or the choices that they tend to make, what they value. And this is a concept called economic value. Okay? Or economic values. And that assuming the benefits of the actual offer are appealing, like you want a hamburger right now, there are different characteristics or quality of the actual business that provides it, or the actual experience of purchasing it, that people tend to value more highly than others.
And this is, again, like across
businesses, industries, worldwide, all of these things. There are actually 9 of them.
All right. So no matter who your market is.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
And, you know, so there are some industry-specific ones, but this covers 90% of what you'll see in terms of economic values. The first major economic value is what's called efficacy, which is how well does it work?
Right. Makes sense.
You know, if you're buying dish soap, you may care. It's like, does this dish soap work?
That's pretty much what you care about.
Does it help me clean my dishes, or does it just make my water all bubbly? You know, efficacy is a big deal. And, you know, the better it works, typically, the more people value it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Number 2 is speed. How quickly does it work?
Does it do my dishes for me?
Right. Or you know, like when I worked on the Dawn brand, actually speed was a really big deal because you know, a not so good dishwashing liquid, you could put it in and it would cut grease if you leave your dishes in the sink for 2 hours.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So how quickly does it work? How fast does it provide the benefits that I'm looking for?
Okay.
The third is reliability.
Right.
Can I depend on it to work?
Right.
And this is actually huge, like in the
important.
Automotive industry. Like, is this car going to break down on me at any moment? The more reliable the vehicle, typically the more people value it, which is why manufacturers that have focused on reliability, particularly both Toyota and Honda, have been doing so well because people hate to have their car break down on them.
Yeah.
So the more reliable.
And those things travel. Even if your friend's car only broke down twice in 1 month and yours didn't, you still are not going to do that.
Because it's hugely important.
Yeah, hugely important. Okay.
All right. So reliability. More is better. The fourth one is ease of use. How much effort does it require in order for it to work? If it doesn't take much effort, then great.
Right.
That's ideal. If it takes a lot of effort, not so great. So, you know, think of things like, would you choose to buy a manual lawnmower, a push mower, or a riding mower? Ease of use is...
Right.
How easy is it to do the job, which is cut my grass? Well, people are usually... will pay more for a mechanized riding lawnmower because it's easier for them to do... The same job.
Okay.
Right? The fifth is flexibility. How many things does it do?
Can it cut my lawn and do my dishes?
That would be awesome. Think of something like, a good example, the iPhone.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Value and flexibility. It can make calls, you can check your email, you can surf the web, you can play games, you can do all of this stuff in this little teeny package. More things that it can do, the better, typically.
Cool.
Okay. The sixth is status, which is related to social signals. How do other people think about me if they see me using this product? Or how does this affect the way other people perceive me?
That's got to be hard to do market research on that because people usually don't want to say, I want it because it's going to make people think I'm cooler.
It is difficult to do that. But, you know, think of actually, and we'll talk about social signaling in detail a little bit later, but why do people drop hundreds of dollars on a handbag that is not functionally different?
We've had this discussion
Have had
many
this
times.
conversation many times. It's like people don't spend $800 on a purse because it works better. They spend $800 on a purse because it influences the way the people that they want to affect perceive them.
I'm sure we'll have this conversation many times again, but for the purposes of now, continue.
Right. So, but the higher the social status of this particular, you know, it's the same thing as like buying a Mercedes-Benz, and driving that around. You know,
I get that one.
Functionally, does it get you from point A to point B any better?
Maybe a little bit, but probably not like however many thousands of dollars more that it costs.
Not 1,000% better.
Probably not.
But the benefit is in the social status, how other people perceive you.
And probably how you perceive yourself.
Right. That's a part of it. Okay. Now, the seventh economic value is aesthetic appeal.
Oh, yeah.
How attractive or sensorially pleasing is it?
That's why you pay that much for a purse.
Right. Okay. So yeah, in more attractive products tend to be valued more than less attractive products, as a rule. 8 is emotion, which is actually related to the part of signaling that you talked about. How does this make me feel?
Yeah.
How does, you know, if you buy, you know, a fancy designer suit or dress, how do you feel when you're wearing that? And that inner emotional experience, which is related to the core drive to feel. It's like if you feel wonderful while you're using this particular thing, people tend to value it more highly.
Well, and from a sales perspective, that is a killer thing to lock into when you're selling something.
Oh, yeah.
Getting someone to imagine how they're going to feel after they buy that, because you can't talk them out of that.
Yep.
It's a really good thing.
And we will talk in detail about visualization, how you actually encourage someone to go through that process to figure out or simulate how they would feel if they purchase something. But it's a huge value.
Oh, yeah.
And
I think people can justify that, even if they can't find all the other reasons. If it's going to make them feel good, particularly if it's like a luxury purchase, they will value that over anything else. Right.
Hugely important. All right. And the last one, and it's the last one for a reason, because it's typically the last one that people consider, is cost.
It's the last one that people consider?
Yep.
No way.
People think about all of this other stuff before they think about the cost. That's why people are willing to drop ridiculous sums of money on things like, for example, and this will come up again when we talk about signaling, but why do people spend thousands of dollars on a Rolex watch? Some people think it has an aesthetic appeal. They feel important. They feel confident. They feel successful. They and you know there are arguments that I'm sure the makers will make about it works better and it's more accurate and you know all of these things. Does it tell time 20,000% better than a quartz watch from Walmart? No, it doesn't. But the other benefits are so are so valuable that they can overcome that much of a price increase. Same as the Mercedes-Benz. So you know, almost every, and this is a good distinction. That there's a book called Trade Off, and the author is Kevin Maney, M-A-N-E-Y.
Okay.
It's not on the list, but it's a good read. That talks about these economic values. It splits them into two general categories. The first is convenience. Things that improve convenience. Think of,
right.
Domino's delivery in 30 minutes or it's free type of thing. Things that make things more convenient make it more valuable. Okay? The second category is fidelity. Things that make it a higher quality experience, whether it's aesthetically or emotionally or signaling or all of those things, make it more valuable. In Maney's view, if you want to develop something that works, you choose to optimize one or the other.
Really?
You can't do both. So, that is why, a business like Domino's.
Right.
Domino's makes pretty crappy pizza. I mean, really. But they're one of the most convenient. They make it easy to order. They make it easy to have it delivered. They're so focused on the convenience that they have a very dedicated core group of customers who will order from them just because it's easy. And then there are the Mercedes-Benzes and the Rolexes and the Bose speaker systems and all of these more luxury brands of the world that focus on fidelity, creating the absolute best experience that you could possibly have. And the market tends to bifurcate itself along those lines. Yeah, bifurcate, cut in half. To bifurcate itself along those lines relatively neatly, which is why the retailers that are winning right now are like Walmart.
Yeah.
And super high-end luxury experiences.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that's why I guess if you're in the fidelity market, it gets really, really, really tricky to start trying to compete on price because then you're like working in the other market. Ooh.
Exactly.
Makes people think about discounting. Don't do it.
Right.
Tricky.
Exactly. Yeah. So those 8 values, efficacy, speed, reliability, ease of use, flexibility tend to be more in the convenience end of the market. The status, aesthetic appeal, emotion tends to be more in the fidelity end of the market. So thinking about this, it's a good checklist to think through what are the economic values that you're really appealing to here. And then I like the division of fidelity versus convenience because it allows you to pick a focus.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to improve in some way, how exactly are you going to improve?
Yeah.
So, Domino's increasing the fidelity of their pizzas probably is not going to make a big difference. But if they make it just a little bit easier for people to order or to order more often, gold.
Interesting.
Because that's why people are buying from them.
So it keeps you from trying to be all things to all people. Too.
Exactly. Which you can never be because of trade-offs. You have to make a choice. So be very clear about the choice that you're actually making.
All right. It's a good way to look at it.
Exactly. Economic values.